Say what?
I am gonna say we woke up today and we got humbled. Uh yeah, we got humbled big time. I hope we got a video shot of it. But we were in the gym, we were training, and we were like
Both of us puffing,
making all those noises, sweating, giving it all. And this older lady comes and asks for a bench, and we were using the bench. At first we said,
Can I use this bench for exercise?
Oh, we're gonna use it.
You need this bench?
Yeah.
funny lady, like way thinner than Judy, and
Such a soft voice too.
soft voice. Yeah, soft
Are
voice.
you guys using the bench?
Yes. And then we gave it to her, and she just took it with one hand, rolled the bench over to her side, and then commenced to do like 50 pull-ups. I don't know how old this lady was. I don't know how much she weighed, but she looked like a twig, and I underestimated everything just by the look. All of a sudden, she was just like pam, 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 and then she was doing core exercises with her weights on her foot, and it was just like, I felt like I had to train harder.
And she didn't make any noises.
No.
I feel like we were exaggerating everything that we were doing.
So after we did that, I went to the onsen and meditated a little bit so that I didn't feel so bad about my life. And took a nice shower, and we started to build the concept a little bit, and we had to get ready for our meetings with the contractors and the construction management companies. And so we did a little background research on them. One of them is doing Kumiki.
Kumiki.
That's somewhere here.
It's Kumiki, I think.
Okay, Kumiki, which is a type of technique where you don't use bolts or nails to put wood together, and it all just fits. It's all carved to fit together. So we talked with that company first, and we got a nice feel from them. They're outside of Niseko, so actually we're kind of also researching outside of Niseko because we hear that the prices are really high here. So he was super nice, and the whole concept is based on sustainability because they're using local wood. They don't use glue for the wood. Everything is just cut straight from the log. And he invited us tomorrow to go and see one of his houses, just to understand a little bit more of the work, feel it, smell it, touch it, the whole thing. But yeah, the price actually, when I saw what he showed us, the price looked high actually. For Tsubo, it was around, or square meter, let's just say it's around 260,000 for a build. Yeah.
Right. And and then we had to rush to the next meeting, which is with another construction company. But what we have noticed is that the meetings that we have set up with these companies, we thought they were construction companies, but actually they are more project management companies that have branched out to different things. The first one is also project management, so they have subcontracted the locals for its designs, for its carpentry, and everything else. So it's the same with the second meeting that we had. They were doing the same thing. The owner is a Canadian, so he's been here forever, more than 20 years. So he really understands the local market as well. And I think he's been making a good business out of what he does. However, he's not a designer himself. He's not a builder. He's really just in the management. But they have different setup where they source for the designer plus the builders for you, or there's another kind which is designer and builder all in one, and he gave us sort of pros and cons of each one. The company that we talked to, though, they work with mega projects, I would have to say. It's not really catering to smaller projects like ours, but he was still nice enough to give us some insight and a little bit of details on what they do, so that we can get a feel of that.
Yeah, I would say that we did talk a lot with him, and it was nice, but it seemed a little bit like we were just talking really nicely. So I directed the conversation towards the budget, and he asked us if we had another zero missing in that budget. Yeah, so the conversation kind of died a little bit after that. There was more spaces in between the sentences after that. But it was okay. We got some information, and yeah, we left. We went to another one where Judy actually couldn't take part. It was she had an important phone call to take, and I met with the guy. He arrived on a very normal car, and he looked very normal too, and he looked like a builder, and he was actually constructing the places himself, working with other workers of the area. And then he showed me around the house and everything, and honestly though, the feel was like a factory house. Everything was very plasticky smelling. Yeah, it wasn't what we wanted, but when he started talking about prices, it turned out that yes, again, it was really outside of our budget. And when I started talking to him about my budget, I think he started feeling a little bit guilty, or a bit sorry for me, because he maybe understands the situation that our budget is still high, but and it still counts for a lot of money, but not necessarily for this area. There's a mega rich people here, and they have crazy money to throw at projects. With the guy before, we talked about he had spent a lot of money. Was it 10 million per tsubo instead of 1 million per tsubo, which is already really high. 10 million per tsubo. But yeah, of course, this guy came from Macau and had casinos in Macau, and obviously we're not in the same
Bracket.
game as those people. But even it is catered to wealthier people for sure. So it's gonna be hard for us. It's gonna be complicated, but I think we're gonna find a way. We're determined to get it done. Even if sometimes we might have to stretch ourselves and maybe our budget a little bit. Yeah, I don't think. One thing though is that depending on your bracket, your price bracket, if you're like 100,000, 200,000 US dollars, 300,000 US dollars, I don't think they really play with this kind of numbers. I think the Western contract management, they go above that for sure. And when you tell them about these kind of prices, they also they're not inclined to give you an answer. Oh, yes, you can have this much for this price. For them, it seems like two small pennies to be worth their time, which makes sense. They're not taking a huge percentage. I mean, some of them are taking maybe 8% from them, which isn't obviously worth their time, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, we're still trying to figure out if there are other ways to do what we want to do within our budget. I think we're willing to maybe stretch it a little bit, but I really don't want to go above that just because a couple of bigger companies tell us that we have to do the way that everyone else is doing it. There is definitely the obvious challenges for us that we have to overcome, which is the language barrier. I think that really limits our options because most of the locals don't speak English. They really, really don't. And I think that really not only limit our options, but also maybe limit their willingness to want to work with foreigners who don't speak their language. So there are some hurdles that we have to figure out how to hop over.
Yeah, for sure. It's not gonna be easy, especially when you're starting out something like this. It's not gonna be easy, and we have a lot of hurdles to go over. This is just the beginning. So wish us luck. And tomorrow we have some more meetings, and now we have a viewing to go and see. So yeah, we'll keep you updated. We'll eat our ice cream. It's nighttime. We're gonna get ready soon. Go hit the onsen again. Maybe try to wind down a little bit. And yeah, take care, guys.
All right. Update you guys more later. Stay tuned.